Right, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, completely different type of content and format again, chopping and changing it, testing some new things, and as you can see, we've got a game running in the background, and what I had in mind was me and Brandon did a video called the Backlog Battle about 4 months ago. I went and dug up the video. What I'll do is I'll link it in the description so you can see for yourself what it is. And it was me coming up with the idea of choosing 10 games off of our backlog that had different weird criteria. Instead of just being very boring and picking, 10 off the top of your head, there were specific things, and this was one of them that I ended up choosing, and I believe it fell into the criteria of, it was like under 10,000 players, I believe. So this is like a very niche indie game. And what I thought I'd do today is, instead of doing, because what I did before on the channel I think like a year or 2 years ago, I used to live stream with the intention of going through like the entire game from start to finish with like a let's play. I don't know if I'll be doing that. I'm gonna this is me testing the water, seeing how I feel about it. What will more than likely happen though is maybe this can be like an opening hour first impression and see how I feel going from there. And yeah, so backstory of the game, have never played it, and if you see me looking up, it's because my monitor is essentially above me. But this is the beauty of a proper capture card, is I can actually show you. Never played it. So as you can see, time played 000, 0 achievements. So it'll be the first time I'm ever playing it. Because what I was umming and ahhing between was either this or Rage. But I've already started Rage several times in the past, so maybe that can be something I do later on. But I just wanted an excuse to jump into the game. So yeah, I guess without further ado, obviously I'll dive in, but the runtime probably looking at about an hour maybe. And then what I might end up doing is doing like a very brief first impression, like review-esque thing, and just give my opinion on the game. For games in the future, I'm not sure if this would fit into the category though as well. I'm just gonna try and tick off everything in this intro bit. If there's cutscenes and stuff, I'll obviously be quiet and be listening and stuff, and just enjoy the ride. So let's begin Sunless Skies Sovereign Edition. In a new game, if you die, you can only continue a new captain. If you die, you can reload. We're only doing an hour, so I guess if I die, I reload. Aiming assistance. See, this is the beauty as well. I have no clue. I have very, very basic knowledge of what this game is about. We'll just leave all this stuff standard. And I'm not sure if there's cutscenes or what. Bother reading that because I would have assumed it would probably scroll on quicker than I could. So sorry for this. Just gonna adjust the audio a little bit. Alright. So it says thrust, brake, steer. This is very loud. Return to the reach, an untamed sunless span of the heavens, London's new frontier, a celestial garden run wild. Oh. Dodging. Interesting. My goodness, that is really loud for me. Drop that down a bit. Your journey back from the Blue Kingdom was tumultuous. Your locomotive is damaged and Captain Whitlock badly wounded. As first officer, the crew look to you. The nearest station is the New Winchester. Can you get the Orphean there safely? Oh nice, so clicking X is cruise control. I want to read that. Much to the relief of your stokers, you find a barrel of fuel among the detritus? I've heard of that. I've heard of like debris. Ooh. God, these names. The wreck of the Ozymandias. The wreck hangs in the sky, pocked with recent gunfire. You and the boarding party don your sky suits, garments of waxed canvas lined with felt to protect against the cold of the sky. Two of the crew are whispering as they dress. What business did Captain Whitlock have in the Blue Kingdom anyway? Why the devil did we trespass on the districts of the dead? You silence him, now's not the time. Also, it's going to have like adventure kind of choices. So leap across the wreck. The gap between the two engines isn't wide, but the endless fathoms of heaven gape beneath it. Okay. Leading the way, you jump. Your stomach lurches with vertigo as the stars blaze above you and below. The air of the heavens is thin and torn by unpredictable winds. Then your boots hit the running board of the Ozymandias, and your leather-gloved hands fumble for a hold. One of your companions throws you a line, and you lash the two engines together. Only then do the rest of the boarding party follow you. One of them forces open an exterior hatch, and you clamber inside. Her interior is cold, unlit, and whistles with wind. Your party's lamps spread buttery light over the narrow panelled passages. You make your way towards the hold, stepping over bodies crumpled in the corridor. Unfortunately, your way is blocked. A bulkhead has been mangled inward by a well-aimed barrage. So we can clear the obstruction away by locating a pipe to use as a pry bar and set to work. This will test your iron skill. Iron is the skill of confronting and overcoming. Your iron gives you a 75% success chance. Okay, so here's our first choice. Or we can lead your party on a more precarious path. Go back onto the Ozymandias hole, climb past the blockage. Nah, we'll clear it. Success. As you strain against the stubborn steel, you remember an event from a year ago. A boiler explosion had trapped an engineer under a tangle of plating and pipework. The captain was first on the scene, you were second. Together you managed to pry the wreckage upwards enough for you to crawl beneath it. While the captain braced the bar across her back, "By all means, take your time," she grunted, as you dragged the engineer out. Back in the present, the twisted bulkhead yields. Your companions clear the exposed rubble away. The way is clear. Wasn't expecting to have to read this much. So please excuse me if I have to take regular sips of drink. You have reached the Ozymandias's hold, a ruin of smashed cargo and spilled supplies. Hopefully, somewhere amidst the detritus, you find parts to repair the Orphean and restock your stores. I'm going to quickly look up the word detritus. Because this is something that I really enjoy doing. So apologies, but you're gonna see it how it is, how I like consume games. If I'm playing like a CRPG and they throw like a word in there that I've never heard of, um, I want to like learn what it means and stuff. Yeah, waste or debris of any kind. Interesting. Okay. Look at them getting all fancy. Right. Conduct a thorough search. Your companions work quickly. The Osmandius's hull has begun to creak. Your actions on board may have compromised its integrity. Renewed. You find enough food and gear to restock your supplies and enough spare parts to make necessary repairs to the Orpheum. The food will need to be thoroughly thawed, of course, but you've eaten worse in the skies. Oh-ho! Cries one of your party, prying the lid off of a long crate. It holds a cannon, still nestled in straw. Another crewman pulls a battered birdcage from a pile of ruined cargo. Within the cage, something winged and furred opens a sullen eye. You examine your finds. You gain 4 times supplies. New total is 5. You've gained 15 whole. New total of 30. The Osmandius emits a long, juddering creak. Your boarding party exchange nervous glances. From the chaos of its hold, you have retrieved repairs and supplies and discovered some useful equipment. A gun that could be mounted on your locomotive, and an educated bat. Mount the Jerusalem cannon on the Orpheum. Oh my goodness. Her own weapons were damaged during the flight from the Blue Kingdom. That leaves you vulnerable. You can claim both this and the bat. Liberate a diffident bat and employ it as a scout. The heavens are wide, so locomotives use scouts like bats to locate things of interest. Ports of resources, wrecks like this one to scavenge. You can claim both this and the cannon. Well, yeah. Let's get my bat friend up. The bat treats its rescue as an inconvenience and immediately begins haggling over pay. Oh, so this thing can talk. Okay. You offer to put it back in its damn cage and leave it on the Osmandius, at which point it becomes more polite. You doubt it will last. Okay. Alright, we'll mount the cannon. Fire and Fury. The Cotteril and Haphazage Jerusalem fires single shells to a good range, more or less accurately. You order 2 of your party to get back to your vessel and fit it immediately. The Osmandius groans again, the structure shudders spasmodically? Spasmodically? These words, man. I love it. Yep. Oh, so we can keep... Okay. I would probably be okay with just that. You lead your boarding party to your vessel, unshackling her from the buckling Osmandius. You stoke your engines and steam away, restocked, repaired, and rearmed. The crew give a ragged cheer. Your terror has fallen. Right stick to open the radial menu. Ooh, you have to use the right stick to also... I don't like that. Let's look at who our officers are. We have none. That's kind of like Dredge in its inventory system. I have no idea what any of that is. So we just need to locate wherever the new Winchester is. Scout returns. Oh, so it mapped it out, I believe. Oh no, it discovered this. It looks like a railway track. Oh, onwards. Summoned by Captain Whitlock. The walls of the captain's cabin are lined with a hodgepodge of curios from across the sky. Captain Whitlock lies in bed. Black marks cover her skin like a monstrous brand. When she coughs, coils of acrid smoke pour out from her lungs. Inquire after the captain's injuries or approach the bedside. What does it mean by requirements? Oh, okay. I mean, we'll inquire about the captain's injuries before talking to her. The brand. A word of living fire pursued the Orphean across the Blue Kingdom. It caught you just before you passed through the transit relay to the Reach, and set its brand upon the captain. It's burned itself right through her, the doctor whispers. When I closed the worst of her wounds, I could see the sign is seared into her bones and her organs. Judging from her symptoms, it's on the inside of her lungs, too. The captain leans to one side and vomits a plume of fire into a copper bowl. There is nothing the doctor can do. And that is one hell of an affliction. Jesus Christ. So that's just what we already read. So approach the bedside. Her mouth is blistered from the blue fires that dance on her tongue. Her hand grips your arm. Her skin is as hot as a kettle. Made arrangements, the Orphean will be yours. Her voice is just a rasp of burned meat breath. But promise? She breaks off to scream a word in a language that was not made for human mouths. When she resumes speaking English, she is weaker, her request little more than a gasp. Promise me one last service. Promise. I mean, you're doing well by me by giving me the ship, so sure, I'll promise. She sinks back, relieved. All in my will, she gasps. Be it better? She breaks off as the sigils burned into her bones flare, glowing cherry red through her flesh and skin. Better captain than I. The effort exhausts her. She sinks back into the scorched pillows in a twisting, frantic fever. So we take our leave. You leave the cabin and the scorched stink of its air behind and return to the bridge. New Winchester is further than you'd like, and the captain hasn't long left. So we'll check what that. Oh no! Combat already. Oh, I dodged into the. I dodged into it, you idiot. Oh goodness. Okay, so they can friendly damage. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, this combat is very strange. It's gonna take a lot of getting used to. Oh, and I'm just slow as well. Oh. How are you still alive, my dude? There we go. The Reach Marauder is defeated. You prepare to board the buckled wreckage, poised to plunder the plunderers. Behind you, someone is humming a song of victory. I think it'd probably be best to heal up. Right. I don't think I'm gonna need to read all of that every time. It seems like it's like a standard battle. He's kind of stuck in that corner and I like it. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be... Let's raid the remains this time. Find 29 sovereigns. It's a very unique game so far. Is this New Winchester? What is this? It's a loading bay. Parking? Stop. Hey, New Winchester. You coast into the bustle, the din, the soot, and the steam of Wolvesey Station. It is clogged with other engines, scrappy mining locomotives from Lustrum Way, weathered explorers gleaming with frost, sleek company vessels with bright brass fittings. No sooner have you pulled into the sidings than a brusque station master bustles over. Your request to come aboard. I must speak with your captain, he insists, brandishing a ledger. The usual formalities. Look to the Orphan's doctor. He has just appeared at your shoulder. His face is solemn. His hand is in his hands. He lowers his eyes. Well, I don't believe that our captain is long for this world and probably isn't with us anymore. The passing. Well, there you go. The crew exchange bleak, wordless looks. The Orphean itself feels suddenly more empty. The station master looks confused. You inform him that unfortunately Captain Whitlock has just passed. Ah, he says naturally. Sorry to hear that. Very sad. Very sad. He waits for what he considers an appropriate minute and a half before continuing. Alas, even amidst tragedy, the cogs of bureaucracy must turn. If Captain Whitlock is deceased, the station authority require their answers from the first officer. He dons a set of spectacles and locates his pen. It'll be relatively painless. Name, background, purpose of visit, etc. Shall we begin? Sure thing, buddy. Ooh. Man, I wasn't expecting like this much customization. Create your captain. Today, London lies between the stars. Her new empire unfolds across the heavens. But 10 years ago, before the Northern Gate was opened, before the renewed Empress led her people into the skies, it lay in a vast cavern, far beneath the earth, deep, dark, marvelous. Who were you then? A street urchin, a soldier, a poet, an academic, a priest, a sailor. Okay. Of the Untersee. A ministry auditor or a revolutionary? Huh. I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of taken me by surprise when expecting. I think we were a first captain, I believe. Whatever it was. Maybe a sailor? Ooh, okay. Great captain. You were a Z captain. You remember bats winging across the still Black Sea, the distant lights of London calling you home. Salty prayers offered to heedless gods. It was a hard life and often a short one, but you made your mark. What were you known for? Did I smuggle, explore? You bought and you sold. I'll go with explored. Choose an ambition. What does winning mean to you? Wealth, fame, the truth. Okay, so the truth one is considered to be done after. Let's go with fame. Ooh. Ezio. think you need like a sea captain's hat. You got a little ponytail. Nice brown. There you go, nice beard. There you go. We'll go with captain. We'll randomize our name. We'll do 5 randomizations and then see what it lands with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got Evans. I didn't know it was going to also address the term. I do want to remain a captain. So we are Captain Evans. Yeah, a lot more RPG elements. Wasn't expecting that. Cool. Start game. The reading of the will. 3 weeks have passed. This morning, Captain Whitlock received a simple memorial service. Her body was consigned to a necropolis train bound for the Serene Mausoleum. Now you sit with a handful of her relatives in the threadbare offices of her solicitors. A methodical notary is reading the will. The captain was wealthy once, but squandered her capital on mysterious expenses before her expedition to the Blue Kingdom. So listen to the end. The captain's relatives, from whom she was most estranged, are clearly wondering why you are here. True to her word, in a final codicil? The notary announces, Captain Whitlock confirmed that possession of the Orpheon was to pass to its first officer. He peers at you with dry grey eyes. This includes a certain black box contained in the Orpheon's hold. Captain Whitlock's final request was that at the time of your choosing, you transport said box to an address in London. He hands you an address card and deposit it there. You are not to look inside. She gave no explanation. And that's it. You're captain now. The Orpheon is yours. Captain Whitlock. So I think that's the quest. You could sell it and be done. You've been bequeathed a large black box and 100 buckaroonies. Okay, so this is the station. This is all the different. Okay. Is that like a day-night cycle? I wonder. Because usually I'd like systematically go through each of them. So I guess we'll see. Explore the city. The smoggy, clanking, singing, stamping, throng. Jesus Christ, how many explanations do you need? Frantic heart of the reach. An ever-expanding port of soot-smudged glass and bright steel, spilling across a drifting, mist-wrapped archipelago. Its factories thunder, its engine sheds ring with hammer and hiss with steam. Locomotives chug into sidings for repair, or flare across the sky and away into the high wilderness. So you can learn about trading. Can it let me open? Okay, cool. Before you leave the nutrient, maybe print to buy more supplies. Okay. Just learn about trading. On the pedal trail, a porter at the station advises you to visit the nearby pub with the promise of days and talk to the seasoned captain there. They keep their ears to the ground. They'll know an opportunity or two. Okay. Revisit the promise of days. Oh, look at you, Zorro. Old pistols gleam on the walls. The shelves are crowded with mementos from the sky. Clientele raise their voices to be heard above the comforting clamour of the adjacent engine yards. Introduce yourself to the seasoned captains. Four are gathered at the usual table. The masked citizen, a libertine, polymath, and pioneer of neo-nocturnal artistic school, the bedeviled didact, a scholar haunted by his discoveries, the plucky baroness, explorer, collector. I was going to say philanthropist, but that's not. Philatelist? Philatelist? Got some big boy words in this game. And Spatchcocker Meg, who hunts monsters. Because why wouldn't you? Of course, everything out here is jolly dangerous, says the Baroness. Few risk the skies, so news of distant ports is valuable. Collect port reports from the places you visit and deliver them to Victory Hall or Company House. The more you turn in at once, the more they'll pay. Look for other opportunities on the way, advises the masked citizen. Passengers who want transport, rich men in need of bloody work, etc. So it's kind of like a sandbox, almost. Interesting. To ask them how to make money. Ah, the didact says, fiddling with his innumerable talismans, an essential topic. Meg slides you a stool and the captains shuffle around to make room. The masked citizen buys you a drink of their own invention. It is violent and foggy. The plucky baroness gives you a brisk, encouraging grin. Ask away. Do you know about a good prospect? Host of Magdalens needs an urgent delivery of seeds, paying a pretty penny too. If I were you, I'd get to the bazaar straight away, put my mark against it. Megrunt's broker in Port Avon is selling cheap seeds. Okay. Man, there's a ton of reading in this game. And what I'm beginning to learn is, you know, I have the respect for those that have played Let's Play, like, what do you call it? The original Baldur's Gate. We have to read everything, because boy, my throat is getting... it feels like a sandpaper's been taken to it. So I think I'll breeze through some of these and not read everything to try and, otherwise, because we're already at 32 minutes. So we'll leave. How much would it be to repair it? 27. Where was the... Does it show us... How did we... get to the thing? I don't remember. Oh, that's the light. I don't know how you got the radial menu was this. There we go. I don't know why it's right stick. Captain Whitlock's legacy. I guess we'll try this. Your lineage. Address in London. Do we know where London is? No, because why would we? Can't we just go exploring, I suppose? This isn't where we want to be. We want to find London. Alright, real question. Is that like a solid? Nope, you can go under that. It's like 50-50. Alright, what are you? Company house. You're not like an enemy, are you? Surely. You good, bro? I really like this art style though. Really cool. Taste of smog, the sound of iron on iron. We are home. So what I didn't yep. Should probably bought fuel. I don't think we should have come this way, but this looks horrible. Oh. We are an adventurer. Oh. Bonnie Shepherds. Oh, let me read that. You've earned enough experience to increase your captain's level. You can now choose a new past or deed. Oh. Okay. What did the winds of fate hold in store? That's really cool. You came close that day to death. It left its mark. What was it that nearly killed you? An attempt on your life or an engine accident? A bullet scar beside your heart. Damn. Or a breached pipe. Nah, the bullet. Yeah, I don't trust you. Gotta be like a port around there somewhere. Can we zoom in? I don't think we can. Oh, we can zoom in. There we go. Yeah, so early, I guess, impressions. As the obviously it's not like a something that's constantly got things going on. I knew it was going to be kind of like an exploration-based game, but I wasn't. Oh, okay. Oh, oh no. Well, I think it's best to just try and get out of here. That can be your side of the ocean, or whatever. It's not the ocean, it's the sky, technically. You can live over there. That's fine. Oh no, don't come after me. Go away. Ah, rocks. Right, what I was going to say, hopefully we don't bump into another horror. I was expecting like the kind of game, like the exploration gameplay to be what it is, but I wasn't expecting there to be that much like RPG mechanics. So that's kind of cool. I would love to read that, but I don't have the fuel to be messing around, so I don't know if it drains passively. Alright, we're out of the foggy area, for the most part. That was terrifying. We really need to find a port. What was the... to put the bat out? Sending the scout is right on the D-pad. Okay, thank God there's one down there. No, of course, it's like some weird carnival. Oh dear. Traveling circus has settled here, too afraid to go further and too afraid to turn back. Do you know what, man? I feel you. It's clanking, gaudy locomotives scavenges such audiences as it can from nearby homesteads and delivers them for an evening of shabby, desperate, big top magic. Guess we'll go to the show. We can write a report. I need, like... You're telling me there's, like, no fuel here? I don't think that we should be doing that. Well, that sucks. There's something down here. Hopefully. A port. That isn't some weird circus. I knew it would be some kind of like interactable. We are like dangerously close. We really should have bought more fuel. Why are they all like lootables, man? I don't think I would cut it as like a sea captain. Maybe we'll mourn the dead. Oh. Yeah, they don't mess around. Like, we're gonna see what happens when your crew starves, I guess. I'm probably gonna get thrown off the side. Of course, there's a fucking mining rock. Come on, man. That's back in like the foggy area. Oh. Where are all the people? But I can kind of get a feeling for what the game is gonna be. It's gonna, you know, learn the systems that are important to the game, that are its own systems, and if you don't, kind of like with what I did, I didn't obviously buy fuel, because I'm not planning on playing it for particularly long. It's combat is definitely different. I think we got him. Whew. But yeah, I don't think this is gonna be something. This is why I didn't want to. That's why I said at the beginning as well, of wanting to do like these hour, like, dip your toe in. I don't think I'd want to dedicate an entire series on something like this. It's be a cool game to like dip into, but it would fall in like the same vein for me as like Battle Brothers and War Tales and stuff, where it's gonna be like I need to be in a very specific mood for that. And this was more so just, you know, seeing what the game was about, because it's got very heavy Lovecraftian influence. I love the art style and stuff. I'm also just interested in knowing what happens when you run out of fuel. Will it spawn like a cutscene kind of thing? Well, not a cutscene, obviously, but a text pop up. Oh my god. So we're not technically frantic yet, so we couldn't eat them. I wonder if the map is procedurally generated as well, or if like War Tales, if you know where to like beeline it to, you can kind of get a heads up. So each run that we do or were to do, same. You'd be able to bring that knowledge in. Damn. It's kind of cool that things like are spiraling like that. I wonder why the fuel consumption's kind of stopped. Doesn't seem to be ticking down. You know what, if we're gonna go out, we'll go out with a bang. Back into the into the fogland, and let's 1v1 one of them monstrous horrors before starving to death. Oh, we failed to... This is going swimmingly. I am kind of surprised that there's been so few like docks and stuff. Okay. It seems like everything is like currency based. We took food to just leave food. Okay. But yeah, I could see myself getting into a game like this. I don't think it would... It's also, you know, fools on the shoulders as me as somebody covering it, but I don't think I could make it a particularly interesting thing. This seems like something that you just chill out. It's like reading a book. Yum yum. It's angry. Okay. I'm getting kind of a feel for the combat. It feels like more of a tank with how it functions and stuff. What was that? It got angry at me. Put me out of my misery. I want to check as well. Is there collision with like the environment? Yes, there is. Good to know. But yeah, not something I'll chip off the backlog. I didn't know if this was more in the vein of like a standardized story, and not so much like a sandbox survival kind of esque game. So it's good of it, you know. Always test games out for yourself and get a feel. That's what I always push to people. Yeah, just eat your friends. I did such a good job honoring your will, previous captain. And there we go. That's fine. So, yeah, I guess I can, with that there. It's very, very unique. It kind of reminded me of Dredge in many ways. Dredge felt a lot more casual in its nature. This kind of gave me... It feels a little bit like FTL in ways of like that kind of management as to what you should be doing. And balancing like a crew and stuff. Very interesting that... Because it says over here, they blah blah blah, they reclaimed it. You inherit a copy of your predecessor's chart, but it lacks the details of their final voyage. So maybe that means it maps out your previous map, which would be good. It also says you start at level 2, and you inherit. So you're not like completely thrown back into the deep end, as it were. So that's kind of cool. Kind of dig that. And it just pulls you straight back in. But I'll just do this so I can, because it won't let me leave otherwise, apparently. So yeah, that's Sunless Skies. Won't be something that I end up covering. I'm kind of glad, like I said, doing like the opening hour and just getting a test for things instead of sitting there and dedicating to something. This isn't something that I would want to play right now, but I'm glad that I checked it out and got it like ticked off the backlog. Well, not ticked off the backlog, ticked off on like the short list of the backlog. So yeah, it'll be something that I jump into like much further down the line. But not today. But I did, and I'm not going to start this now, but I did end up installing Rage because I did have the sneaky suspicion that I may not click with it. So what we'll probably do is give Rage a go next. And that might be something that I end up going a little bit further into than an hour because I do enjoy Rage. I can't remember what made me put it down the first time. I believe it was a game-breaking bug actually. So if you run into that again, that's really unfortunate. But I'm just booting this like the club thing to show. There we go. So I have played parts of it. I don't know how far in technically it is, but yeah, that was that. That was Sunless Skies. I don't think it would be fair to give it like a rating. It's not like I was really getting involved in the systems and stuff. It was basically just testing to see if it would pique my interest to actually bother to learn and get on a deeper level than just a surface level touch onto it. But I could see the appeal. I could see the appeal, and we'll give Rage a go next. And I don't know if it's going to load. Hopefully it does. If it doesn't, it's going to be a bit annoying. There's plenty of games I have to choose from. It's 1,260. So I'll land on something eventually. But thank you very much for watching. Also, hopefully the audio levels are fine. Hopefully the game was balanced well with the mic. I did watch a video to try and understand because obviously I'm doing this via OBS. It shows me the mic levels going up and down. I did try to mimic what the person was saying in the video, but obviously you don't always get things right the first time. So hopefully I got it right, but if I didn't, I'll obviously end up rewatching it myself and listening to bits. But hopefully you enjoyed, and stay tuned for the next one. It'll be Rage, and in between then, obviously you can catch me on Brandon's channel, Unnecessary Rambling. I'll pop that in the description. And yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and see you in the next one.